This is our first stop of the tour, and we're going to talk about 3 different things: the pier, the arrivals area, and the trams that we're going to add to the island. So it's great because you can actually see part of the pier under construction, and it kind of looks like a pier already. When it's completed, it's going to be able to handle 2 ships simultaneously. And I'm sure you folks are aware of that new class of ships that we have on order for Cantieri. They're over 200,000 gross tons. The pier will be able to comfortably handle those ships as well. The walk from where folks will disembark the ship to the arrivals area is about 1,500 feet. The pier itself is going to be split in 2 areas. So there'll be one area that is basically a service roadway, so we can bring provisions to and from the ship for the island. For those with mobility issues, we'll also have limited tram service for those who can't walk that 1,500 feet. And then the other side is going to be a pedestrian pathway. So the pier is shorter than the one at the neighboring island, but we know that 1,500 feet can be a little bit of a long walk for some folks. So there's actually going to be on the pedestrian side some covered benches interspersed along the walkway. So if people need a little bit of a rest, they can take a rest. And at the end of the pier here, at the edge of this outcropping of rock is where the arrival center is going to stand. And you can see a visual behind you of what it's going to look like when it's completed. It's a large covered pergola structure with a restroom, but it's predominantly the area where people are going to be boarding and debarking the trams that we're adding to the island. So for the trams, there's going to be 2 initial stops. There's going to be a pickup at the arrivals area, and then the drop-off is going to be roughly where the roundabout is in front of the tender pier today, so where you get off the tender side. So it sort of drops you in the middle of it. The trams are going to have 4 trams. Each tram is going to have 4 cars. The capacity for the trams is going to be 107 riders, or 104 riders, excuse me. And at peak load, we're estimating that the wait time is going to be about 3 to 5 minutes. So we're going to try and match the capacity of the island in our phase development with the ships that we're deploying to the island. So we're not going to stress the island too fast, too quickly.
Do you tender more than one ship?
Operationally, we try not to, just because the tendering process is very complex for a 2-ship operation. We do it occasionally, but it's not our preference. You can see the pier from here. You can see the beginnings of what this pedestrian pathway is going to look like, or at least the routing. That big pile of rocks is where the pool is going to be located. That's going to be our next stop. But in order to facilitate, the fastest means possible for guests to get from the pier to the pool, we could have just kept the pathway that went around the harbor, but we cut the walking time significantly if we built a pier. So the terminus, or the bridge, sorry. The terminus is where you see the flagpole today, and this hill over here. They're going to add about another 10 feet on top of these hills to get the elevation, because we need the clearance for tenders to continue to access the harbor while the area is under construction. So the bridge itself is about 150 feet long. We've actually updated this since this has been printed, but the clearance below the bridge is going to be close to 60 feet now. I add a new splash pad. So the boundary of the splash pad is basically this fence in the back corner and extends to roughly where this signpost is here. That's about 1,300 square feet. The intention is to add a bar in that back corner. So we're going to provide guests with kids the opportunity to sort of like sit, relax, chill, maybe have a drink while they watch their kids having fun with the different splash amenities.
Will there be treats for kids too?
Oh, TBD.
So it's a splash pad, but you're not doing water slides like next door?
Yes.
We're evaluating different options for subsequent phases. It's not off the table.
But for now, it's
the splash pad and the pool, and then some other amenities we'll show you in a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to orient you folks a little bit to the pool area first with the visual, and then we'll walk over and you can actually see some of these amenities already sort of in the foundation. So we're going to have a massive pool, 28,000 square feet. We're going to have 2 swim-up bars, 1 swim-up bar on either end of the pool. The swim-up bar on this side of the pool is going to have an island of a DJ stand, so it's sort of geared towards more of the younger active adults. On the other side, with the other swim-up bar, there are going to be 2 zero-entry beach-style areas. So, when you just walk into the pool, really great for families with young kids. On one of those, we're also going to have little fountains and splash amenities that are also geared towards small children. We're going to have about 1,000 loungers surrounding the pool that are fully complimentary. We're going to have 31 day beds, which will be an upcharge, and we're also going to have 33 cabanas that are also going to be an upcharge. We're going to have 25 small cabanas and 8 large cabanas. All 8 large cabanas and some of the smaller cabanas are actually going to be on the perimeter, sort of overlooking the ocean. So all the cabanas are going to be oriented to face the pool, but for the cabanas that are on the ocean front, we're actually not going to do a solid back. We're going to do like a half back, so those in the cabana can still look out and see those ocean views. We'll move this way and you'll actually be able to see the outline of the pool and where the different swim bars are.
One thing that I noticed in the rendering is lack of shade. So they're going to be umbrellas?
Yeah, we're going to have umbrellas.
Okay.
Yes.
And when are the pools gonna be finished?
At the same time as the pier.
Okay.
So here, again, this is my favorite spot of the tour because you can actually see what we're doing. You can see the outline of the pool. You can see over here marked in green is the outline of the swim-up bar. And over there, also marked in green, you can see the outline of the other swim-up bar on the other side.
Are there any plans for Wi-Fiing the island? I mean, Wi-Fi.
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
it's something that might come in a future phase.
I'm sure it'll be a consideration. I'm sure we're evaluating.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice to switch off though when you're on the island?
But you know, it's a fantastic pool location. We're actually 10 to 15 feet above sea level, so you do get an excellent view of the ship. The ship is approximately where it'll be docked once the pier is available, so you can see the ship from the pool. So those cabanas, the large cabanas that have the half back that look out to the ocean, will have excellent views. All right, so everything that we've seen thus far has been part of phase 1. So the target date is going to be for those items to launch in November of this year. There is already a phase 2, which includes some of the additional items that we mentioned at the christening ceremony. And one of the big drivers for that is this concept of trying to bring the best of the onboard experience to the island. So one of the products that we launched recently on a couple of our ships in dry dock this past year has been Horizon Park, which is a multi-use sort of family socialization and game area. So the intent is to expand this area here and create another Horizon Park on the island. It's going to offer a variety of shaded seating options, so families sort of can rest and relax and recharge and socialize together. And there's also going to be a variety of lawn games. So cornhole, giant Jenga, Connect 4, games of that type. At this particular area, we're evaluating some different F&B options. Stay tuned.
You said this is phase 2?
This
there
is
a date
phase
for
2.
that?
What?
Is there a date for it?
Not yet. Generally, sometime in next year. It's interesting. It's actually one of the things that is a very consistent insight we get from the guest feedback surveys. Is one of the things that guests love about Great Stirrup Cay is how relaxing it is as an experience. So obviously, with the other amenities that we're adding to the island, we're adding amenities that are more geared towards families, to adults that maybe are looking for a more livelier atmosphere. But we still want to make sure that the island delivers on that experience of relaxation. So what we're going to do is this bar here and this food area from this point onwards to Silver Cove is going to become a new relaxation area. So it's going to have a little bit of a tiki theme, some tiki drinks. There's going to be an addition of hammocks. We're going to rebrand the cabanas that are in front of that beach to be more appealing to a more relaxed type of crowd.
So you say these 2 buildings are going away or just being rebranded?
They're being rebranded.
So maybe one will be a tiki bar.
Yeah. All right, so we'll walk past the beach. That'll be part of the relaxation area, and then we'll end where Silver Cove starts today. And at the entrance to Silver Cove, we have the last stop of the tour, which is going to explain how we're going to divide Silver Cove to create that new vibe area. This whole area here today is Silver Cove. But as you can see, and if you folks are familiar with the Silver Cove product, it's actually 2 separate areas. We have the lagoon villas over here, and then we have a separate oceanfront area with what we brand oceanfront villas. So the thinking here in introducing the new vibe concept, which was very successful aboard our ships, is to just take this oceanfront area of Silver Cove, which you see here, which includes these 16 oceanfront villas and this beach area, and building a wall on the other side so it's separated from Silver Cove, and making it a exclusive adult area, so 18 plus guests only. We're going to keep The villas are already here, and we're going to add about 200 loungers that people can purchase. It'll be just like the ships. You have to purchase a daybed or a lounger and or one of the villas. The point of differentiation between Vibe and the existing Silver Cove area is going to be the 18 plus exclusion. So if you have a family and you want to enjoy Silver Cove, you have that experience. But if you were looking for an adults only atmosphere without kids running around, we're giving guests an additional option. And right now, you know, there isn't really an adults only section of the island, right? And we know that concept is very popular on our ships. It's something that certain aspects of our consumer demographic really value. And so it's a matter of trying to tailor to that segment on the island just as well as we do on our ships.